Well, welcome on in, everybody. The June 7th announcement is a few days old now, and yeah, it wasn't received super well. We are officially in the New World shitstorm, and it is 100% AGS's fault. I gotta say, a big reason for this fallout, at least in my opinion, is marketing. It was very confusing what New World Aeternum was when it was announced, and unless you stayed and watched the half an hour kind of dev intro that they did, you didn't really find out. So, yeah, I thought that advertisement video was completely wasted. It was a miss for the existing player base, and it was a miss for the target audience. So yeah, that's a PR nightmare right there, because I know it probably cost them a lot of money to get a slot. And yeah, they should have done better. Advertisement should have known. I run a small YouTube channel and I know better. So that's all I can really say. They 100% should know better. There are professionals in the room that should be saying, "Hey, this is confusing. People won't know what we're selling them." But anyway, we eventually found out what they were selling us, and there's a bit of misinformation around this. So that's something I kind of want to address with this video, because I was on the forums, I was watching people's videos, and people have differing accounts of what is and isn't coming with this update. So from my knowledge, we are getting a PvP zone. Now, is it going to be a new zone? That we don't really know. They didn't say specifically a new zone, but we will have a PvP dedicated zone. So it could be anything from a brand new area where PvP is on all the time to a rotating PvP kind of state of the existing zones. I'm leaning more towards it's a new area, just the way that they worded it. But like many things that they mentioned, until we actually see it, we don't really know what we're going to get. And that's something I can't stress enough about this update as well. As it sits right now, we haven't seen any of this content, so we don't know exactly what we're going to get. So yeah, with regards to the PvP zone as well, I've seen quite a few claims that PvP players are getting shafted again and we're not getting any new content. We're getting a new zone. I don't know what more you could want as a PvP player than a PvP dedicated zone. It's something a lot of people have been asking for a long time. Another thing we're getting is a new 10-man PvE raid. Now, this one is great for PvE guys. I don't PvE a lot myself, so it's not super huge for me, but I know we don't have any 10-man raids in the game right now. It's kind of a new party size for PvE content, which is nice, I guess. I don't know. I don't PvE, so I don't really have a lot to say about this, but it is content that we're getting, and at least for the sake of PvE, I hope that it has some kind of repeatability to it, because I feel like that's the big issue with PvE content in this game. It lacks a good reason to do it more than once, or, you know, the handful of times till you get the drop you want or whatever. And there are also going to be endgame solo trials added, and this is, again, great for PvE because I feel like there is a lack of endgame solo activities to do. So, yeah, we don't know, again, what this is going to look like till we see some of it. It could be amazing, it could really suck. We just gotta wait and see. So I guess the point of this video is let's hold our criticism until we know what we're actually looking at. And then finally, we're also getting swimming, and this is more of a quality of life thing rather than something that the game was desperately missing. But hey, I'm here for it. Now, something they did not mention that I'm actually not happy about is a new weapon. They have released new weapons yearly until this point, so they could still announce the new weapon. They have in the past, you know, done these announcements kind of incrementally, so maybe closer to the release of this update, we will get news about it, but as it sits right now, there is no news about it. Yeah. If we haven't heard anything yet, it does make me lean towards we're probably not going to get a new weapon. But yeah, we'll wait and see. But I feel like if they were to announce a new weapon, they probably would have mentioned a new weapon as one of the things coming with this update. Anyway, so that's kind of what we got and what we didn't get. And I feel like there's a lot of discontent around this update, but, you know, it's not all super warranted. A lot of stuff did come with the update, you know. If this is in fact a new zone, then we are getting a whole new zone. We're getting a whole new PvP game mode. An update of that size and scale, honestly, is pretty on par with the previous expansion updates that we've gotten that were received very well. But, you know, I honestly think a big reason why this was so poorly received is because a big part of this update's announcement was the console launch People had already suspected and known about this, and Amazon was being super secretive about a ton of stuff going on with the game at least a few months back, and just not telling us what the plan was or why they weren't fixing things because they wanted to delay the console announcement until now. I think that was a huge mistake. I think that when it comes to something that's an issue like that affects the player base, you need to communicate with them and tell them what's going on. If it takes some of the steam away from your console announcement, that's okay, because the number of players that this game lost in the past few months because of the silence from Amazon, it's big. It's big. It has had a huge impact, and I know that this game's population ebb and flow naturally goes through these dips at this time of the year, but this has been the worst dip yet, and I wholeheartedly believe that that is a big part of it. So yeah, I guess what I'm saying is that the overall reaction being so negative isn't entirely warranted. We did get a lot of stuff that we do want to see with this update, but we didn't get everything, and the delivery really impacted people's perception of it, especially with how confusing it was. It definitely didn't do Amazon any favors. So there we go, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed some of the Hatchet Rapier gameplay. Here's a bit of a build breakdown if you want to see it. If you guys want to see more of this build from me, let me know in the comments. Maybe I'll do a whole build video. Before I go, I just want to share one thing. You guys know I played ESO for a long time, and I really fell out of love with that game. In fact, I really started to hate it towards the end of my time playing it. Now, don't get me wrong, ZeniMax took it a direction that I wasn't enjoying, but my attitude towards the game had a huge impact on how much fun I was having. And eventually it just got to the point where I would log in and just wait for something to piss me off so I could flip out and go complain and make a video about it. Since then, I changed my approach to gaming, and it is so different now. I hope that sheds some light on where I'm coming from. Have a good one, guys, and I'll see you next time.